To help you really understand layers and layer masks, we are going to create this fun composition, where it looks like someone is half buried in sand. This project is designed to teach you how to organize and manage layers, how to use layer masks for non-destructive editing, and how to make your subject look like it actually blends into the environment. Before we start, make sure to download the project assets. You'll find them linked in the video description. You'll need 2 files, a desert background and a transparent person image. Setup: building the workspace. Step 1. Create the document. Go to File, New, and in here, set the width to 1920 pixels. Then set the height to 1080 pixels. And the resolution, also known as the DPI, to 72 pixels per inch. And select Create. This gives us a clean HD canvas to work on. Step 2. Import the background. Now open the downloaded folder with your assets and drag the background image into the canvas. Photoshop will place it in a free transform mode. You'll see corner handles and a toolbar at the top. Hold Shift plus Option on Mac or Shift Alt on Windows. And drag a corner to resize the background proportionately so it fully covers the canvas. Once you're happy with the size, press Enter on your keyboard to confirm. Step 3. Add the subject. Now drag into Photoshop the subject photo. And again, you will see that it's placed in the free transform mode. Resize the subject image to fit it naturally within the background, positioning it in a realistic way. And press Enter on your keyboard once you're satisfied with how it looks to confirm. Step 4. Organize your layers. Now let's clean up the Layers panel. And if you don't see the Layers panel, go to Window, Layers to make it visible. Now let's double-click each layer name to rename them. Call the bottom one Background and call the top one Subject. So that will be our layer setup. Now let's talk about layers themselves, what they are and how they work. Part 1. Understanding layers. So what is a layer? Think of layers like sheets of glass stacked on top of each other. Each layer holds part of your design, an image, text, brushstrokes, and they all stack up to create your full composition. In our case, the bottom layer is our desert background, and the top layer is the person we're going to blend into the scene. Now, here's the thing. The sequence of your layers matter. Whatever is on top will also visually appear on top of your design. Also, so that you know, in the Layers panel, you can turn layers on or off by selecting the eye icon beside each one. Drag layers up and down to reorder them. Group layers into a folder by holding Shift on your keyboard, selecting the layers that you would like to be grouped, and then pressing the folder icon in the Layers panel. And you can also rename each layer for clarity by double-clicking on each layer name. Overall, taking these steps helps you keep everything clean and manageable. Part 2. What are layer masks? Layer masks allow you to hide parts of a layer without deleting anything. They're a non-destructive way to control visibility, and here's how they work. The color white on a mask means the layer is fully visible. The color black on a mask hides part of the layer. And the color gray on a mask means partial transparency. Now, let's try to create a layer mask. Part 3. masking the subject into the sand. Step 1. Add a layer mask. Select your subject layer, then go to the bottom of the Layers panel and select the icon that looks like a rectangle with a circle inside. This is the Add Layer Mask button. A white box appears next to the image. This is your mask. And right now, everything is visible. But we're about to change that. Step 2. Select the brush tool. Our objective is to hide the lower part of the subject, to make it look like they're buried in the sand. Go to the toolbar on the left and select the brush tool. You can also press the B key on your keyboard to do this. Now make sure your foreground color is set to black. This will tell Photoshop that you want to hide a part of the image. To double check your colors, look at the bottom of the toolbar. The top square is your foreground color, and it should be black. And the bottom square is your background color, and this should be white. If these two colors are reversed, press X on your keyboard once to flip them. Alternatively, if the colors are not black and white, press D on your keyboard once to reset them back to their default state. Step 3. Start masking. Now, making sure your layer mask is selected, start by using a hard-edged brush. You can set the hardness of your brush by right-clicking with your mouse cursor anywhere on the canvas to open the brush settings. And here, you can also adjust the size of your brush as needed. Now, carefully paint over the bottom of the subject to hide them into the sand. This creates a hard blend, making it look like the person is sinking into the ground. And if you make any mistakes along the way, you can switch your foreground color to white by pressing X on your keyboard once. And then you can paint back in the part that you want to keep. You see, that's the beauty of masks. Nothing gets deleted and the entire process is non-destructive. Part 4. Blending the subject using curves and contrast. Now that the subject is masked into the scene, let's take it one step further and blend the colors so that everything feels more natural and cohesive. Step 1. Add a curves adjustment layer. First of all, in your Layers panel, click on the subject layer. Then, go down to the adjustment layer icon, which is the half-filled circle at the bottom of the panel, and choose Curves. This adds a curves layer on top of your subject layer. Now, we want to make sure this adjustment layer only affects the subject layer. Step 2. Clip the curves layer to the subject. Right-click the curves layer and choose Create Clipping Mask. This action means that this adjustment layer is now bound directly to the subject layer, and not the whole document. Step 3. Match the subject to the background using color sampling. Here's where the magic happens. With the Curves panel visible, look for the Auto button near the top right side of the panel. Next, hold down the Alt key on Windows or the Option key on Mac, and select the Auto button by left-clicking with your mouse cursor. And this will open a new Properties window. Inside this window, check the box that states Find Dark and Light Colors. Once you do that, you'll see 3 color swatches: shadows, midtones, and highlights. We're going to set these by sampling the actual background image that we are using. Step 4. Set the shadow, midtone, and highlight colors. Start by selecting the shadow swatch. This will change your mouse cursor and will activate the color picker tool. Now, click on the darkest part of the background image. And do the same for the midtones. Select the middle swatch and then choose a mid-brightness area from the background. Then finally select the highlight swatch and sample one of the brightest points in the background. Once you have sampled all 3 swatches from the background image, select OK. Photoshop will now shift the subject color tones to better match the scene, and the change is immediate. Step 5. Add brightness and contrast. To really blend the subject layer with the background, let's refine the brightness just a bit. To do this, go back to the adjustment layer icon and choose Brightness Contrast. Next, right-click that new layer and choose Create Clipping Mask. And now you can experiment with the brightness and contrast sliders until the subject and background blend seamlessly. I know this step is subtle, but it really helps to lock in the realism. So now you know. You've just learned how to master layers and layer masks in Photoshop. And you've created an amazing piece of art by seamlessly blending your subject into a background. You took the time to understand the core principles, and now you can apply them to any project. Great job! You're one step closer to becoming a Photoshop pro. Now the question is, are you ready for the next lesson?